And now, a word from
Infirmary Media.
It's time for Blumpkin&Friends, starring your host, the Reverend Johnny Blumpkin.
Hey kids, I'm the Reverend Johnny Blumpkin, and with me here today are my friends.
The Juice. The Chi-Chi.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi kids of mine that I made.
Really? Really, Dad?
Yeah. What is going to happen on Tuesday?
School.
School's going back into session, which means it's the end of speed bump season.
Oh, what?
Speed bump season. When all you little shitbirds are not in class and then on your bikes and rollerblades and skateboards and scooters or on your phones walking down the middle of the fucking road not paying attention to what's going on and then ending up underneath the wheels of an unsuspecting driver's car, and next thing you know their parents are crying over a goddamn coffin, all because their stupid kid didn't know that car versus person equals car wins every fucking time. So with the end of speed bump season comes the beginning or reopening of strep throat and lice season, because you guys are little fucking walking petri dishes of germ craziness.
Dad, just don't swear in the show.
It's my show, I'll swear if I want to.
Okay, then say all of the bad words
No,
in front of me.
no.
Why?
We're sticking to the topic.
Say the C word in it. No.
The C word. Do you even know what the C word is?
Yeah. Crap.
Stupid bitch.
That's not what most people would consider the C word.
Why?
Because there's one that's way worse, and I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Because it's super bad.
Yeah, it's super bad.
Is it like the A word?
Kind of. Can we stick to the topic?
Okay. Yeah.
So now that we're going back to school, the Chi-Chi is going to be in kindergarten.
Yay.
And the Juice is going to be in second grade.
Math. Yay. Actually, I would say boo of kindergarten. I want to be in pre-K.
Why?
You don't have much playtime in kindergarten. Kindergarten all it is blah, 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 10 minutes.
Could I give you a piece of advice?
What?
Get used to it. Life is not about playtime. How much fucking time for play do you think I get during my workday?
None.
I'm lucky if I have time to do anything besides eat my lunch at my desk while I'm still fucking working.
Let's try that.
Moving on.
Okay.
I figured that I would make this back to school episode special by telling you stories of things that happened to me when I was in school.
Oh. Okay. It better not be bad. It better be good.
So the Chi-Chi's going into kindergarten.
Yeah.
And when I was in kindergarten, I got in trouble on the very second day.
Why? Uh-oh.
Because there was this kid, and he was messing with me. And he was being a brat. So I started calling him Robbie Poopy Booger Butt. And then he went and told the teacher. And then I got in trouble even though he was being a dick and throwing other people's coats on the fucking ground. Also, in kindergarten, I got to go to my first Twins game.
You did? No fair. I want to go to the Twins.
Well, that was 1987, so it was actually worth going then. But these days it's not because they suck ass.
What?
First grade. There was this time I was mad at this girl, Leah, that sat at my table. So I wrote a note that says, "Dear Leah, I hate you. From Mike." And then I left it on her chair for her to find.
And then what?
And then she brought it to the teacher, and the teacher looked at it and asked Mike if he wrote it, and he said no. And then she looked at me and asked me if I did it, and I said, yeah.
You dumbass.
Because I didn't have a very good poker face at that age.
Didn't.
But the point is that I tried to frame somebody else for being a dick.
What?
Silence. Nothing?
No.
Nothing?
No, this is bad.
Here's another time I got in trouble in first grade.
Uh-oh.
The teacher, I think she went to the bathroom, and then the office buzzed the speaker in the room to ask where the teacher was. And we said, she's dead. She went to heaven.
And then what, Dad?
And then she came back to class, and she said the office told her that somebody said that she died and went to heaven, and she thought it was terrible.
She did?
And then I got in trouble.
How did they know it was you?
I don't know. I guess after a while they start to figure out who the bad kids are.
Really?
Yeah.
Why were you a bad kid?
Because it's funny to say stuff like that. Plus, I was 6. The fuck do you want me to do?
Don't say that.
Well, first off, I was just saying the first thing that came to mind because we were joking about her having an angel halo. And secondly, I'm 6. I don't have an overdeveloped sense of propriety. So what kind of asshat expects a 6-year-old to understand the magnitude of saying something like that?
I don't know.
It was a joke, but people were all sensitive and butthurt about it.
Just tell us something about 2nd grade.
Okay, 2nd grade. Well, there was a time that I was spider walking up the bathroom entrance walls.
Oh, come on.
Where I put a hand on each wall on either side of me and then used my shoes to climb up and to touch the ceiling. But the janitor walked by and saw me and he told me to get down and then he told my teacher.
Did you like Spider-Man? How did you get to stick?
You just push. It's like Ninja Warrior.
Yeah, when you do because boop, boop. There's because the walls are close to you. You just had to go really tight on the walls.
Yeah.
Or put soap on your hands.
Wrong! Try again, dumbass!
And there's this other story that I've told about 2nd grade where we were in writing class. Mm-hmm. And the teacher would say, my cousin took pictures of us. And then I would say something under my breath really quietly that's dirty that I'm not going to repeat to you because then you're going to ask me what it means and I don't want to tell you.
We're not going to ask that.
Yeah. Anyway, so she kept saying, my cousin took pictures of us. And eventually she heard me say,
having sex.
So then we went on a bathroom break. And she stopped me before I went in the bathroom and she goes, you have a very sick little mind. Like, I'm fucking 7 years old. I'm just joke. I'm 7. That's what happens when your teacher's an old lady, but both of you have younger teachers. So hopefully neither one of you will say anything close to what I said. At this point, I've done a very good job of shielding you from a lot of adult-themed stuff. 3rd grade. Mm-hmm. Do you know what a word find is?
Oh, yeah, it's like a word search.
Yeah, there's a bunch of letters in a big square, and then you have to find the words inside of it.
Oh, great.
And we were doing a word search, and I saw the word ass. So I circled it, because it was a word.
Oh, you were not supposed to do that.
And then somebody fucking told on me, and showed the teacher, and I got in trouble. Crock of shit.
8-year-olds do not write that.
Yeah. Yeah, here's a better phrase to remember. Snitches get stitches.
What?
Yeah.
I don't get that either. Did you ever get stitches?
Yeah, on my finger one time when I cut myself with a work knife.
Ouch!
I don't want to get into it.
Oh, okay. Tell us about 4th grade.
I'm not there yet. Oh. Also, you know what happened in 3rd grade?
What?
We got to go to Florida for a family vacation.
No fair!
And I learned how to swear.
Uh-oh.
Because of Grandma and Papa swearing at each other. So I learned naughty words.
Uh-oh.
And the rest of that is pretty self-explanatory because clearly I have a potty mouth and it's their fault.
It's not. Wait, did you tell them that night? It's actually like Florida's fault.
It's the entire state of Florida's fault.
How is it the entire world of Florida?
The world of... Well, it's not a world. It's a state.
Yeah, it's a state.
Okay, it's not the state's fault. It's Papa's fault for missing an exit, and then Grandma's fault for having a swear fit and flipping out over having to drive 40 miles out of our way before there was another exit to turn around.
Not true.
That is true. We were supposed to go to fucking Orlando. We ended up in goddamn Winter Haven.
What?
Yeah, so I got taught how to swear. Also, funny story, in 3rd grade, here's a tip for school. If you have to go to the bathroom and you ask your teacher and they say no and you're afraid you're going to go in your pants, just walk out of class and go to the bathroom.
No!
Okay, well, let me give you an example of a time when somebody should have just walked out of class and gone to the bathroom. One of my best friends in 3rd grade.
Oh, jeez.
I'm not going to say his real name. Joe Piper. He was feeling sick and asked to go to the bathroom during art class. And the teacher said no. So he sat there and he kept working on his art project. And then he asked again and she said no. And a few minutes later he asked again and she said no. And then the room started to smell like toots. And then we had to go to gym class.
And then he asked.
And then it was time to get up and go. But guess what?
What?
He'd already gone. He shit his pants.
He pooped his pants.
I think he diarrheaed his pants.
What?
That's even worse.
How is it worse?
Because it's liquidy. I mean, shit is kind of hard. You can just kind of throw your underwear away and wipe it clean. But diarrhea soaked through his bright blue sweatpants.
She actually diarrheaed before in her underwear. And guess what? We had to throw away her underwear. Remember? Yeah, that was not a
Why are you using real names?
That was not funny, Chi-Chi. Yeah, just remember there's a super splat on your shorts.
Why was there a super splat in your shorts?
I don't remember. It's soaked through.
Okay, well, let's get back to talking about my friend shitting his pants, okay? Because the story doesn't end there.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
It doesn't, because we had to line up for class, and I went to go look at his chair because I couldn't believe it, and there was like fucking liquidy diarrhea on his chair. Just a little. Just enough. Like it left a mesh fabric pattern of light brown liquid where his butt was. And then the back of his fucking sweatpants was all wet. And the teacher told me to ignore it. But I didn't ignore it. I kept bringing it up and making fun of him for it. And then we got to gym class, and we had to sit on the floor. And the teacher felt bad, so she sat next to him. But then I kept bringing it up, and then she told me not to. And then after he was done sitting on the floor, I said that he left a brown poop stain on the floor.
And then what?
Well, then I got in trouble for making fun of him.
Really?
Do you know what the chicken versus the egg argument is?
No.
What came first, the chicken or the egg?
The egg. The egg came first.
So who laid the egg?
The mama. The
Yeah.
chicken.
Welcome to fucking reality. That's how that works.
Well, the egg comes first, then it grows into a chicken. Then it grows into a grown-up hen.
Okay, well, here's the thing. Cause and effect relationships. If the teacher would have let my friend go to the bathroom, he wouldn't have shit his pants. And then I wouldn't have made fun of him. And then I wouldn't have gotten in trouble for making fun of him. And then we wouldn't still be talking about this thing that happened in fucking 1990. That was 28 goddamn years ago that he shit his pants. And I'm still talking about it. Because it's hilarious and unfortunate.
And because
Not because I have a problem with growing up in maturity, clearly. Clearly.
Yeah, you do. That you do.
Hey boys and girls, it's time for another Hey boys and girls, hey boys and girls, hey boys and 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 girls, it's time for another ITradio fucking fucker shitting ass tits beer.
Why when I'm a little kid am I laughing
I like
so
the little
deeply?
giggling in the background.
It's your dad.
It's my dad.
Yeah. He bought the toys for you.
No, my mom did. Jack off.
Because I had to make you sound manly at 3 years old with your little tiny dick.
Well, how's that
Sorry.
any different than now?
Well, at least you admit
I
that you
sound
have
very manly and still have a very tiny dick.
Okay, I was going to say, you better say that you have a smart, tiny dick and not... yeah.
Well, remember the show's stuff that's not true.
Who said it's not true?
Well, I've said before it's a grower, not a shower.
I can lie about what the show's
My
title
dick is huge then.
We didn't really come out and say that this show is going to be a whole bunch of fake shit. You just admitted
Is
that you
that
have
why
a small
after you
dick.
told me, okay, come over, you called me back 2 minutes later to say, oh yeah, tonight's show is
I was
not gonna be
hoping
about
that you would
stuff
say that
happened
you would
in our
have a
life.
small dick. So when you fuck Frosty, he doesn't know that you're actually going to annihilate his asshole.
There's a penis in my butt. Hurting me, hurting me, hurting me.
You're listening to Blumpkin&Friends.
4th grade. There was this girl, and I didn't like her, so I used to call her Jessica Throw Up.
So what was her real?
I'm not going to say her real name on the air.
Just say it.
Out of respect. Out of respect.
Just say it.
Anyway, she and I used to not get along, so one time in the lunch line, she turned around and she picked up her carton of milk.
Yeah?
And there was some crap on the bottom of it, some like milky goop, I don't know, and she wiped it on my coat sleeve.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, dick move. So you know what I did?
What?
I kicked her feet. And they went right out from under her and she fell on the floor on her butt.
And then what?
And then the lunch ladies knew exactly what happened. And then they were mad at me because I kicked her. And I'm like, well, she wiped the thing on my sleeve. I was mad about it. Apparently nobody ever cares if the victim retaliates. It's only that, somebody else got fucking hurt, even though they were the aggressor. I was just standing up for myself just because she was a girl, but she fucking knew karate and I didn't, so there.
Why'd you not take karate in 4th grade?
I don't know. Ask my parents, who only wanted to go to the campground on weekends instead of let me have fun.
Okay, let's just settle down in the show.
You're really not adding anything.
You're not...
No, nobody wants to hear that. They're already probably turning this off because they're like, oh, kids, fuck that. I don't want to listen to kids. So, what lesson can be learned from that story?
Nothing?
Wrong.
I don't know.
Well, I kicked somebody and I got in trouble. So what do you think the obvious answer is?
Don't do it again.
No, the obvious answer is do it somewhere where nobody's watching so you can get away with it.
No, that's a bad lesson. She just slipped.
See, she's getting it.
I don't. You're being a bully.
I'm not being a bully. I was standing up for myself.
You probably got F minuses on all your things.
Well, that's not a thing. They don't give F minuses.
What the heck does that even mean?
It's a letter grade.
Yeah.
It tells you how smart or stupid you are.
No one's
So if you get an F, it means you're fucking retarded. You fail.
C is fine.
C is average. C's get degrees.
What does B mean?
Better than C? I don't fucking know.
What does A mean?
You aced it.
What does that even mean? Okay, now you're making nonsense.
You did a good job. You got at least 90%.
Ooh.
I'm going to slap you right in the duck lips. Can I move? Can I stick with the format?
Yes. Okay, fine. Go to
We're losing the audience here. God, you two have terrible attention spans. So another 4th grade story is there's this kid named Paul. And Paul and I traded regular Nintendo games for a while. So I could play his game and he could play mine. We were borrowing each other's games.
Yeah?
And I gave him his back on time. And then he didn't give me mine back for like weeks. And I'm sitting here like, hey, I want my copy of Bart versus the Space Mutants back, motherfucker. And then the teacher had to get involved and suggested that he pays me $0.25 for every week that he doesn't return it. I didn't get that $0.25.
You blew it!
Anyways, in 4th grade, I got the teacher that I wanted because there was this teacher that had a really big butt. And I thought, I want the big butt teacher. I don't know why. I just thought it was funny that she had a big butt. And then she was my teacher. And then the other 4th grade teachers were an old lady and a big fucking robo-dyke that played softball. I mean, short, spiky haircut, wearing men's Hawaiian shirts. Probably picked people up with her fist a few times. You don't even know why that's funny.
That's dangerous.
So what moral can you learn from the story of the regular Nintendo game borrowing where I didn't get my game back when I wanted it?
Just tell. No, just don't borrow again.
Exactly. You don't borrow people your shit and then you don't have to worry about it.
And the next time that you trade, say, I changed my mind. That's a dumb idea.
He already had my stuff. So that's a dumb idea.
Yeah, it is a dumb idea.
Anyways, so 5th grade. Sometimes if you have to toot in class, it doesn't pay to hold it in.
What do you mean?
Because if you hold in a toot for a long time, it makes your tummy hurt. And then your tummy rumbles. And then you'll be sitting there, and the teacher will call on you, and you'll be like, uh-oh, I don't know what to say because I wasn't paying attention to the math. All I was doing was thinking about holding my fart inside. And holding it and holding it and holding it, and all of a sudden... And then the whole class laughed because I farted. And if that bitch Miss Dewar wouldn't have called on me, I probably could have kept holding my fart in because I had pretty good concentration. She broke my chi. Yeah, so then people started calling me Fart Boy. But only for like a week. Probably because I had violent tendencies.
They called them that.
Yeah. And then there was this kid that we used to call Queefer.
Yeah?
Just Queefer for short. Because his last name rhymed with Queefer. Queefer came into class at the end of writing. And I had to go back to my classroom. And the desk I was sitting in was his. So he noticed that I wrote on his desk. And he got mad at me and he pushed me like this on the shoulder and told me I better erase it. And I said no. So then I got up and then he shoved me again. So I stabbed him with a pencil in the leg. Yeah, and then the little crybaby bitch, he starts tearing up and he tells the teacher I did it.
Wait, was he bleeding?
No, No, it was a dull pencil.
What do you mean by a dull pencil?
As in it wasn't sharp. The opposite of sharp is dull. Anyway, so I stabbed a kid with a pencil in the leg. Mm-hmm. Not a good idea to stab somebody with a pencil in the leg.
Ooh, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah, it's better if you just punch him in the eye.
Don't punch somebody in the eye.
I grew up in the 80s and the 90s. You could get away with that shit back then, and they just, like, make you stay in from recess. You guys, all you do is fucking have a disagreement. Next thing you know, you're sitting there crying on opposite buddy benches, and then they're calling your parents in for a fucking mediation conference. They're making grand pussies out of you all. Nobody knows how to fucking take a punch anymore. Someday you're going to have some shitty boyfriend, and I'm not going to like him, and he's going to cock off at the mouth the wrong way to me, and I'm going to punch him right in the goddamn face. And then he's going to cry like a bitch and say he's going to call the cops.
Don't call the cops in school.
There's two morals to that story.
But did he call the cops?
What? This is a hypothetical scenario. Why the fuck would I have an... Jesus.
But is it really real?
Not yet, but probably in the next 7 or 8 years.
I already have a boyfriend.
No, you don't.
Is real. Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Not in the traditional sense.
Juice? Noah's my boyfriend.
Noah's a nerd.
I just tweeted on the show.
No, I look at that kid. He's got glasses. He's got bad posture. I guarantee that kid's got a glass jaw. One punch, he's going down crying like a bitch.
Say about 5th grader, what the heck are we...
I wasn't done talking about punching your boyfriend in the face.
Yeah, and I think he's in the same class with me.
Yeah, so don't date snitches. Because what about snitches? What do snitches get?
Punches on the face.
Well, eventually, but what do they get?
Timeouts. What? No.
Why the fuck would I give somebody a timeout? Snitches get stitches.
Well, that's a bad lesson. That's why
Yeah, it's called Code of the Streets.
Okay.
You're not going to be in school forever. Sometimes you're going to be out there in the world, and then these lessons will apply. But also the other lesson is don't mouth off to your girlfriend's dad who's older and angry and works out a lot and doesn't like you to begin with.
Really? Wait, Grandpa worked out?
No, Grandpa had a son, so he didn't have to worry about that.
What was the son? Yeah, Dad! Daddy
Jesus Christ, you guys are terrible at this.
I think they had...
Can I tell you another story?
Yeah, sure.
We were in gym class in 5th grade, and there was this kid, and he was Hispanic, and I didn't know what the word meant, but I knew it was an insult, so I called him the N-word.
The N-word?
Yeah, so you don't even know the N-word because I've been protecting you.
What is it?
I'm not telling you because it's a terrible word.
I never...
But I called this Hispanic kid the N-word, and then you know who he told?
Huh.
His teacher, and guess what his teacher was?
What?
Black. The audience will understand the ramifications involved in such an endeavor.
Why was the teacher black?
Because he was born that way.
Really?
Yeah.
And now, Jeremy Irons raps.
You can have whatever you want. In the hood, it's do's and don'ts. So when it get hot in this kitchen, stop snitchin'. Ninja, stop snitchin'.
That was Jeremy Irons raps.
You're listening to Blumpkin&Friends.
Well, we've reached the point in the show where it's time to play a game.
It's called the RPS Challenge.
And I've decided that the Juice is going to play the RPS Challenge.
I want to play.
And she's going to play the RPS Challenge against you, the Chi-Chi.
But how do you play that?
We have 5 hands of either rock, paper, or scissors. You will say what you pick. You don't have to move your hands. You just say what you pick. When I prompt you, not just at random. And then I'll tell you what she said and we'll see who wins. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Blumpkin&Friends proudly brings to you the Rock, Paper, Scissors Intercontinental Championship Challenge Championship of the World! Okay, so are you ready to play the RPS Challenge, Chi-Chi?
Yeah!
Okay, well, the Juice doesn't really have to answer because she already gave me her hands ahead of time. So she can't cheat. Cheater.
I'm cheating.
So, hand number 1. Go, Chi-Chi.
So what do I do?
You just fucking say what you pick.
Rock.
She picked a rock. No point. It's a tie. Hand number 2. Say what you pick.
Me?
Yes.
Scissors.
Well, which one is it?
Paper.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Okay, well, you're sticking with that. She said scissors. Point for her. Hand number 3.
Paper.
She said paper.
Paper covers rock.
No point.
You didn't say rock.
You said paper. You really don't understand what's going on, do you?
I already picked. It's like rock, paper, scissors.
Jesus Christ. Hand number 4.
Rock?
She said rock. No point. So, here it is. It's hand number 5. You have to beat her on this one or else you lose. If you beat her, it's a tie and we go into overtime. So a lot of words. You are staring at the screen blankly. Anyway, hand number 5.
Scissors.
You said scissors. She said paper.
It's a tie.
So it's a tie. So what does that mean?
Extra set.
Overtime! Okay, so now it's sudden death. The next hand wins, unless you tie. Okay, so you better pick real carefully.
I want...
Well, I'll wait until I say hand number 6.
Okay.
Hand number 6.
I pick... rock.
She said, a rock. It's a tie. Hand number 7.
Paper.
You said paper. She said scissors. You lose! Shitbirds. So you're very excited for school on Tuesday?
Yeah. No.
Are you going to get in trouble like Daddy did?
No.
Because I told you those stories to both entertain you and educate you. It's edutainment.
We're supposed to be still talking about 5th grade and 6th grade and 7th grade.
Yeah, I'm going to cut it off there because my deeds just escalate in their grotesque nature as the years went on.
Not true.
No, I had a thick file. I didn't even tell you about all the fights I used to get in.
Show me super loud.
No.
Yes.
See, I used to get I used to get in fights a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and then people would say mean stuff to me, so I'd hit them. Because frankly, that's how it should work. Is if somebody is an asshole and they say mean things to you that you don't deserve, you should be able to hit them, not get in trouble for it. This whole walking away, being the bigger man bullshit, idiotic.
Reagan hit someone in my class once.
I don't know who that is.
It's my friend girl. Whatever it is. You mean...
Friend girl.
It's a girl in my pre-K class.
And she hit somebody?
Yep.
And did she get in trouble?
Yes, she had to take a time out.
So what should she have done differently?
Walk away.
Well, that's one option.
She should have respect and didn't even do that.
That's terrible English, but I would have said wait until the bathroom break and then punch him in the face when no one's around and then just deny that it happened.
Is it a boy or a girl that she punched?
Did she punch a boy or a girl?
She did not punch. She hit. She punched. I don't remember. I mean, she hit someone, but I don't remember. So if it was a boy, she wouldn't be...
Can I tell you something? You're every bit as good at telling stories as your mother is, expecting everybody to get the gist of what's transpired without any sort of contextual details.
I would be 6 years old about that.
Yeah.
I bet. I'm already, kind of 6 and 5 and 4 and what?
Interact with the show on Twitter at Blumpkin Show. That is at Blumpkin Show. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/group/Blumpkin and Friends. We are on iTunes and on Podbean at blumpkinshow.podbean.com. For original songs where I rap about dirty stuff, go to soundcloud.com/BlumpkinMusic. I'm the Reverend Johnny Blumpkin.
I'm the Juice. I'm Gigi.
Good night.
Oh, back to school, to prove to Dad that I'm not a fool. I got my lunch packed up, My boots tied tight. I hope I don't get in a fight. Oh, back to school.